Hello, beautifuls. I'm going to talk today about fear. And I'm wondering, if I asked you about fear, about your specific fears, what is it that you would tell me? Where did they come from? What do they look like? Many people do not give much thought to their fears, and even less do they give thought to where their fears came from. Now, many of us have experienced something in the past, and so we have a lived experience of fear. And so that particular fear might pop up again and again in our life experience. And then there are also the experience of fear that comes from our basic survival instincts. However, the most prevalent fear that we experience during this life journey is a fear that is sometimes titled self-assumed, adopted, or real-time. And I can hear people saying, self-assumed. Are you telling me that I choose my fears? Who would choose their fears? Let me explain. So we hear or see something, and based on that, we obtain some information. And then we have a thought or thoughts about that information that we attach actually to the information. And based on those thoughts, we decide whether the original information is helpful or harmful, is pleasant or fearful. And in that choice is where we choose whether we are afraid of something. It is a choice. And as you can imagine, for the vast majority, it is not a conscious choice. And we make that choice many times every single day. Anytime we are obtaining information, we are making that choice. And so it's no doubt that that is the most prevalent fear experience that we have. However, when you combine that with the fact that our society is designed to stimulate and cultivate fear, and that's basically just because it's easier to control the masses if we're fearful, because we don't seek alternatives and we don't challenge. So we're receiving information that is of a fearful nature or is intended to elicit fear. If we are not conscious, it is easy to just go with the way that's already paved. Now, that seems like that's probably really bad news because we're having to make these choices and we're surrounded by fear. Yet the good news is it is a choice, and that these types of fears are not hardwired. They are a programming, but they are a mental thought pattern that we have chose. And as such, because we chose it, we can challenge it and we can change it. And if we choose to become conscious, we actually become empowered as to the choice we make, as opposed to just going along with what's been paved before us. So some of the tools that we can use to become more conscious in this choice, and it'll be quick because I like to keep these short, is mindfulness. And I know I talk about mindfulness a lot, but it is the most powerful tool you have in your arsenal. Because when you become the mindful observer, you do not have to believe your thoughts. You can witness them, and then you get to choose which thoughts you want to believe and you want to follow. In addition, as the observer, you also connect with the feelings and sensations in your body, which provides you with a storehouse of information of its own in order to help make that decision. Also, critical thinking, not only for the information that's coming in, but also in regards to your thought process. Are you able to challenge your own thoughts and your own perceptions and perspectives? I thank you so much for listening to this perspective. I know that it might be a new idea to realize that in some way we are responsible for the fears in our experience, but it's also very empowering to know that we also can choose not to have those fears. Until we speak again, please be well.